But an even bigger shout out to Team Keep It Clean. Oh man, good morning. It's Wednesday morning when I'm recording this. So this podcast will be dropping the same day because we stick into that every Wednesday. Every Wednesday is going to be when the podcast drops. We may throw some more in every now and then throughout the week maybe, but every Wednesday, you know that it's coming. And then that's one of the things, like I told y'all last week, that's one of the things that I wanted to change on here. I wanted to just have that consistency, and so you know what you can expect. Anyway, happy Wednesday. Hope everybody is doing good. This was the first official week without football. Like this past, because the Super Bowl was 2 weeks ago, but last week, this past Sunday, was the first Sunday no football at all. Nothing. And we had fun, man. Like, we had fun. We had our meeting in the morning, and then we ended up, we went to IKEA, and then we picked up some food from this, what's it called? It's this seafood place. It's a seafood place in Miami that Carter, he really loves the fried fish there. So we got him a fried fish, and because he eats the whole fried fish. And we always get something different, like every time we go. I know my wife, she always gets the ceviche, but this time she got the ceviche and she got octopus, and I had got a lemon pepper grouper. Yeah, and it was alright. It was lacking in the flavor a little bit, because when I think lemon pepper, I'm thinking like lemon pepper, but this was just lemon pepper, if you get what I'm saying. But anyway, it was still good though. I just had to throw some hot sauce on there, and it was good to go. And me and Carter actually, because I had never had an octopus before either. We both tried my wife's food, and I was just whatever about it. Carter actually liked it, which I was surprised. He liked octopus, so that was something. And with Carter, he doesn't, which I ain't mad at him. He likes what he likes, and he sticks with it. And I can be the same way. When it comes to food, I ain't going off the deep end, doing anything crazy with food, trying anything crazy with food. I like what I like, and I rock with it. That's it. Keep it simple. But Carter again, he's usually the same thing, same way. He likes what he likes. He likes his chicken nuggets. He likes his chicken tenders. He likes his pizza. He likes his French fries. He even likes chicken wings too. But he likes what he likes and he sticks with it. But so I was surprised when he actually tried the octopus, and it's actual like. It's not even one of those, like, we had calamari before plenty of times, but that's different than actual octopus. Because the thing that got me too is that it's an actual, like, you can see, it's one of them, the octopus's arms or something like that, or whatever they're called. I don't know what they're called, but you can visually see, like, oh, this is a part of an octopus. Like, you can see it. So that's what got me like so surprised. Like, wow, he's actually doing this. He's gonna try it, and he did it, and he said he liked it. He said he actually loved it. So, but the real test will be to try it again, to see if he likes it again, because he could have been on like happy mode. You know when you're happy, just stuff is different. Stuff that would normally bug you, it don't bug you the same. Stuff that you normally wouldn't do, you probably do it just because you're a little happier. So maybe that was the case with Carter. Anyway, this is episode 26. Episode 26. So thank you all for watching. We actually, a company reached out to us, and we about to get our first sponsorship. So that's pretty cool. It's exciting, and it's exciting to know that people are listening, and you never know who's listening. So that's cool. It was different. It's a well-known company, and when y'all hear about it, y'all be like, oh, okay, them, all right, we know who they are. It ain't anything crazy, anything like that, but it's just cool to know that is the podcast is reaching people. It's reaching people, reaching brands, reaching audiences, and it's super cool. We sometimes I'll take a look like at the statistics and stuff, and like where people are listening from with the podcast. Where is the audience coming from with the podcast? And I see the biggest one is the United States. So it's like, okay, cool. That's expected. But it's actually people that listen in Germany, Canada, the UK, Brazil, Portugal, Mexico, Australia, Hungary, Finland, New Zealand, South Africa, Puerto Rico, Marshall Islands. I don't even know what Marshall Islands is. I've never heard of that before. Ukraine, Singapore, Nigeria, Netherlands, Norway. So it's literally people from all over the world that listen. So I appreciate y'all for that. That's pretty cool, man. That's really cool. And people from literally wherever, and that's the powerful thing about the internet. Again, we always say the internet, it can be a gift and a curse. But that's one of the gifts at the internet that you can connect with people in seconds. Literally in seconds. You can connect with people from all over the world. From all over the world. They got a good internet connection, you're good to go. If you got a good internet connection, you're good to go. And I mean, yeah, Xfinity, they've been decent recently. Sometimes they, yeah. Anyway, but back to this being the first week without football officially. I've actually been looking forward to this, and we've talked about this a lot, but I've been looking forward to this because it puts everything sort of takes a step back. And it's a lot more relaxed. It's still very, very busy, as you all have seen. Like if you subscribe to the YouTube channel, the Ingravenvids channel, things are still very, very busy. Like very, very busy. But there's a sort of calmness to the busy that it is. You can just take your time more. Stuff is a more of a relaxed busy. If that makes any kind of sense. But I appreciate it. Like Sunday, it was nice, like having an entire Sunday afternoon and night completely free. Like I loved it, man. Straight up, I loved it. An entire, like that's, and it was so weird to say, but it was something that I just appreciated so much. I was just so happy. And not that I'm not happy during football season, because I obviously love football, love watching it, enjoy it a lot. But I was just as happy with no football. And just, like I said, taking a step back. And it was just, it was crazy, man. But it was fun. Because it's like, oh, man, well, this is what Sundays are like. This is what these things are like. I mean, Monday nights, we ain't had a Monday night game in a long time, so we already got used to that. And with Thursday night games, we ain't had a Thursday night game in forever, too. But it's just really nice, man. It's really nice. Like I said, we went to IKEA. We went to the fish place. But we also went to this puppy store. But it was like I never saw a puppy store like that before. To where the way that they were lined, the way that the puppies were in the on display. How can you explain it? It reminded me of like Walmart in the electronics section, where you look at a video game, like you're looking at PS4, PS5 games, and how they have them in the case, so you can see them. You can't touch the case though. You can't pick it up, turn it around, look at it. Like at least at Target for their games, they have them in individual cases, but you can pick up the case, you can turn it around, you can look at the back of it and whatnot. But for Walmart, for certain games, for some games they have them out, but for a lot of their newer games, they have them in the case. You can't touch it or anything. You can just look. You can look into the case. I mean, you can look into the glass case that they have it in. That's how it was with the puppies. They had them in this glass cases, and they had little individual sections for them. But it was just like I had never seen them displayed like that. And there were some nice little puppies in there, or whatever. But it just looks so. It looks so weird. Like we used to puppy stores to where they have them open. Some of them you can pick them up. Sometimes they'll have them like in cribs and stuff. So you're walking over them, you're looking over them, and you can pick them up or whatever, and play with them and whatnot. You can put your hand inside the crib or inside the cage. But for this one, no, they said you ain't touching these puppies. You ain't bothering them, nothing. So I just thought it was really different because I had never like seen any like puppy store like that. And the reason we were there is because I don't know, it's weird because we really wanted, well, really my wife and Carter, they wanted to get a dog before. I was like, nah, I don't really want no dog like that. But I was like, you know what, whatever. They want a dog. I know I'm gonna end up being the one that takes care of it the most anyway. But then I started changing a little bit. And we got a friend whose house we go to sometimes, and they got dogs, and I tell my wife every time we go over there, I say it's like a dog therapy for me because I love their dogs. My favorite one of their dogs is their boxer because it's just big. It's big. Her name is Millie. It's just this big boxer. And she's crazy. She likes playing. But it's like she's this big dog, but she's so soft. Like she'll run on you and lick you and jump on you and stuff, and I love that. So I remember there was one time when I first saw her, and I hadn't seen her in a long. Actually, the very first time I met her, very first time I met this dog, she came down the steps. And she peed all over the floor. I was like, oh boy. That's what dogs do. And he was like, oh, the owner was like, oh, she just excited. And I said, oh, okay, cool. That's some kind of excitement right there. So then a couple months went past, and I hadn't seen her in a while. She did the same thing. And I was like, okay, I guess that's like a term of endearment then. So I appreciated it. But no, I love that dog. But I love big dogs, and we even we had went over one of our friends' house that I forgot what kind of dog they have, but it's a really big dog, but it's still young, but it's a big goofy dog, and I loved it, because I'll sit there, I lay on the floor, let the dogs run all over me and stuff, and let them lick your face and all that. It's cool, but I don't really like small dogs though, and I know my wife. She would prefer like a small to medium-sized dog. Carter, I think obviously the dog wouldn't be big from jump. I think he would be fine if we got a dog, and a dog that eventually got big, but he got to know it through the process. Because Carter, when it comes to big dogs right now, which I don't blame him, even we'll tell him like, Carter, this dog is not going to hurt you, especially if it's somebody that we know's dog. Any other dog, like random dogs, no. You could be as afraid of those as you want to. Because I ain't messing with no dog that I don't know. If I don't know the owners, I don't know the dog, nope. Mm-mm. But Carter, when it comes to big dogs, he don't play about that. He's like, nope, I don't want to touch it. I don't like it. I ain't messing with that dog. No, I got no problem with that at all. But I would like to, if we did get a dog, my preference would be one that did get really big. And with Carter, I think he would be more comfortable with it. Excuse me. Because he will have seen it from jump, and he will know the dog. He'll know the dog from when it was a baby, a puppy, or whatever. That dog will grow. He will grow. So he'll be used to it. So that would be my preference, but I know for my wife and for Carter, they would rather something small to medium size. Like, and we even went. I even find myself like, and I know if it was our dog, there would definitely be a connection. But I even like find myself if we go to one of our friends' house and they got a dog, and I'm playing with the dog. I won't have the same connection with like a medium-sized dog that I would with a big dog. Cause it's just like, oh man, it's just they're just so they're small. I don't like the big dog. I mean, I don't like the small dogs. They're just they're cute or whatever, blah blah blah. But I would rather a big dog. So my preference would be like a boxer, my wife, she likes Rottweilers. We did see one of my friends. He has a pit bull, and it happened over there too with the pit bull, because we went to go see him a couple weeks ago and his family, and with that dog came to the door like this dog, like you think this dog like hit the gym like 2-3 times a week. I mean, no, 2-3 times a day. I mean, because this dog was swole. This dog was cut, had muscles. It was like, and the dog looks so mean. He looks mean, because it's a pit bull. They look mean. But I went, came up to the door, kneeled down to the dog, was saying what's up to it. And then my boy, who the owner of the dog, he was like, Blue, man, why'd you do that? He was talking to the dog. The dog name is Blue. He's like, why'd you do that? Blue, go, move, get in the cage. And I'm like, man, whoa, like what happened? Like, what did the dog do? She did like growl at me a little bit. She went like a little bit, but it wasn't nothing crazy. So I'm like, man, you putting in the cage for that? But then I found out that, because I hadn't seen it, but I found out that he peed on the floor. And I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay, that's why. But again, there was that term of endearment. But for me, when I found out that his dog peed on the floor, it made me like the dog even more. Because I'm like, okay, that means the dog was excited to see us. So it's just, so that would be another dog that I would like, a pit bull, from when it's a puppy, from jump. Like any dog, if we did get a dog, which I know my wife, she still really would. There was some time where, there was a period of time where she really wanted one, and Carter really wanted one. But then she got some other responsibilities, and it was like, okay, well, maybe a dog, maybe that wouldn't be able to fit into the family. But now, ever since she's had those extra responsibilities, she's learned how to manage them and understands the amount of time, free time that she has, that we have, and whatnot. So a dog would probably actually fit into that. But now, like, I would probably be down for it too. The thing about me is like it reminds me just of having another baby. The biggest thing that I would be worried about, the stage, like, because this is why I wouldn't want to have another child. Love kids, love children, love Carter, and I'm sure he would love a brother, sister, or whatnot. But for me, the starting over, that is the biggest part. The starting over. It's like, running it back with the diapers. Because I don't miss those. And I remember with the diapers, when we got past diapers, oh my goodness, that was the best, man. It was the best because you ain't got to walk around with a diaper bag no more. Oh man, it was great. Like, you know, the pair of drawers that your kid is wearing, that's going to be the same pair of drawers, most likely. There could be some situations, but 9 times out of 10, that's going to be the same pair of drawers your kid comes back home with when y'all go out. So, when we got past the diapers, that was great. And then when we started, when we could convert using wipes for changing diapers to just keeping on us to wipe our hands in the car or something, if a fast food place doesn't give us napkins, or if we run out of napkins, or if we could convert using wipes from changing diapers to wiping down something in the car, wiping down a counter in the house or something like that, when we got to there, oh man, that was great. And that's my favorite stage anyway. That's been my favorite stage with Carter, from when he was about 2.5, 3 till right now. And he's 5 now. Wow, he's getting ready to be 6 in July. So what's that? 5 months, I think. But wow, that's crazy. But anyway, that was that's been my favorite stage, because his favorite stage for me was when he like really started understanding what was going on. He could make decisions. He knew what he wanted. He knew what he liked. He knew what he disliked. He was talking a little bit more. Well, now he's like talking too much, but it's been my favorite, man, because again, that's my little buddy. But again, back to what I was saying, that's why I wouldn't want to start over, just to have to go through that whole process again. Of course, it would be worth it because that's your child. You love your child, and that's Carter's little brother, little sister, whatever it would be. But I just wouldn't feel like starting over. So that would be my same thing with a dog. And I know we would have to get through that part, but a dog, you got to go through the potty training part. And that part, I'm like, okay. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'll keep y'all posted on our, I don't even know what to call it, on our dog venture or whatever, if it ends up turning into anything, if it comes to fruition or not. We'll see. But we like, my wife, she'll check all the time. She check on these different like adoption sites for dogs and stuff. She always looking. But we'll see what happens with it. But yeah, just the starting over process, man. I know the dog would it would make me exercise for sure, because the dog, I would have to walk in, and again, I know that it would be me. I already know, because it would be my wife. She wants the dog the most. Carter would too, but I know it would be me. I know they will be there for all the pictures and stuff, taking pictures with the dogs. Oh, let's get a selfie with the puppy. Take a picture with the puppy. Oh, play with the puppy. But no, who got to clean up the dog poop? Who got to clean up the dog pee? Who got to take the dog for a walk? Who's going to get up in the morning and take a dog for a walk? Who's going to walk the dog in the afternoon? Who's going to walk the dog at night? I know that's all going to be me. I already know it. But sometimes my wife, she'll see these little memes and stuff on Instagram and whatnot of like the exact same situation, to where it was the dad who didn't even want to get the dog, but the dad ends up falling in love with the dog. So she's like, oh, that's how you gonna be if we get a dog. I say, oh yeah, probably. She's probably right. But it'd be nice. It'd be a nice little welcome to the family. We'll see though, man. We'll see. Man, with Carter, just sort of to segue, I had to call his school yesterday because they marked him absent. His teacher marked him absent. So I had to call the school attendance hotline and be like, no, that's wrong. He was there. I guess because in the very beginning, because Carter, he is not a morning person at all. Me, I'm not a morning person at all. My wife, she can get up. Me, nope. I'm not a morning person. I'm not gonna be the one. I wasn't really never the one in the office. Oh, hey, how's it going there, Sam? Hey, how's it going, Billy? Hey, how you doing there? Up and at 'em? Nope. That was never me. Still being at home, that's still not me. If I wake up early and my wife, she's working or she's on the phone with like her mom or her sister or something, she'd be like, oh, good morning. Hi. I just wave at her. Don't really say nothing. I don't really feel like talking like that in the morning stuff, but Carter the same way. He don't be on that in the morning. Like, even there's been times when I've talked to him, and I've had to talk to him and be like his teacher. She'd be like, oh, good morning. And he'd just be sitting there looking at her. I'd be like, Carter, say good morning. Because I don't want her to be rude or nothing. But then at the same time, like, oh, yeah, he ain't no morning person. He don't really want to talk to nobody in the morning. But it's funny because what's funny about Carter, and I guess the same thing happens to me too. If it's like a work day, normal work day, getting up in the morning, don't feel like it. But and this never fails with Carter too. Every time, whenever we go on vacation, if we at like a hotel or something, this dude, he will wake up early. He will be energized. He'll be ready to go earlier than the times that he even has to wake up for school. He will be ready, and it never fails, never ever. And I'm like, man, this dude like in vacation mode. Yeah, Carter, he'll wake up bright and early. So anyway, I do miss going on vacations, man. Carter does too. Carter at like about I say 7 days in a week. So Carter, usually he'll ask to go to a hotel, usually about 4 to 5 days out of the 7 day weeks. He will say, hey, he said, Dad, Mom, can we go to a hotel tonight? He's always ready. He's ready to go on vacation. He misses it, man. He misses vacationing. He misses going to restaurants. And I'm like, man, I'm right there with you, Carter. And my wife is too. We miss all of that stuff. Because I'm trying to think what the last thing we did. What was the last thing we did before it became mask up season? And I don't even remember. I know we did go to Disney World like a month before everything. Maybe a month and a half, I think. Before everything like got shut down, and then when they did reopen, everything was about the masks. I know we went to Disney World like about a month and a half before. But yeah, I missed that. I know we all miss it. I know somebody. I saw a meme that said, "Man, if how dirty were we living before this whole pandemic started?" Because wasn't nobody like washing their hands like that and doing sanitizing and all that, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, it's one of those things you look back on and like, man, I'm glad I definitely appreciated how stuff was before. But the whole situation will make you appreciate it even more. But it's tough, man. It's very tough. That's why you, like Marshawn Lynch said, you got to take care of your chickens. And what he said when he meant that, you take care of your mentals, man. You gotta take, well, he's talking about money too, but you gotta take care of your mental health, man. Because this thing, it puts people in these situations that'll bring out any mental health problems you have. This pandemic will try to bring it out of you. It will, for sure. Because it's keeping people separate from just normal life. It's keeping people separated from their friends, separated from their families, just separated. And then it creates this more separation, and it creates a lack of what's the word? Trying to think of the best word to describe it. Almost a lack of love. Nah, not a lack of love, just a lack of being personal with somebody, because you got a mask on, so you can't even see their face. You can't see, all you can see is eyes. You can't see mouth. You can't see nose, well, unless they got the mask on the wrong way. But it's just, it limits your interaction with people. And it's just changed so much. But actually something that my wife and I, and Carter too, something that we find really refreshing is just giving gifts to people. Just giving. And it's really a really good feeling. Because we, like, recently, to a couple of like families that we know, we sent them Georgetown cupcakes. Like one family of 5 that we know, the husband, wife, and 3 kids. And we knew them cupcakes wasn't gonna go to waste. We sent them cupcakes just to send it to them. Put a little message in there talking about how good the kids are, because they are really good kids. And it just, when you give somebody a gift, it can really like brighten up their day. And it doesn't have to be anything fancy. It doesn't have to be anything like crazy, anything like that. But you just doing something for somebody else, especially in the time that we're living in right now. Especially. Like, I mean, period. The gifts, they're nice for anybody, but right now with how life is, with how things are, it has an extra impact on people. For the better. So, and like I always say, man, even if you just send somebody a text, check on them, see how they doing. It ain't gotta be nothing going on. And if they ask you, what's happening? What's going on? Say nothing. I just wanted to check on you. That's it. You could change somebody's whole day. You could even change their week. Because people don't expect that. And especially if it's somebody that you ain't hit up in a while. People don't expect that. And when they get it, it's like, whoa, okay, well, that's nice. They were thinking of me. They appreciate that. People appreciate stuff like that. So check up on people, man. And especially check up on people who you know, like, deal with stuff. people who may have some different issues and whatnot. Gotta check up on people, man. Guys to. I gotta get better at that myself too, because there's some people I've been meaning to check up on, but I hadn't checked up on them yet. So definitely gotta check up on people, man. So my wife, she has been into plants and just adding more plants around where we live at, and she been picking out some nice ones. Like we went to Lowe's the other day, and I think this has happened to a lot of people. Just being at home, since we are at home so much, you want to make you want to make your home the best home that you possibly can. You want it to be nice. You want it to be somewhere where you don't get tired of looking at. You want it to be comfortable, obviously. But so she been into getting plants and stuff. So she did get she got a snake plant. Been wanting to get a snake plant for a long time. And she got I don't know what the other plant that she got is called, but it's nice. It's nice. She put it next to a mirror and it looks good. So I told her, I said, man, you need to go be an interior designer. But yeah, cause she loves all that stuff. She loves it, but she also very proud of her too, cause she just been doing a really good job at her job. She's been killing it at her job. She just continues to get recognition every week. When they go over the numbers and stuff, she gets a lot of recognition, and it's good. I'm proud of her, and like I told y'all before, for her to have gotten a promotion while being at home, I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't even know that was a thing. For somebody to be able to get promoted while being at the crib for a job that originally you worked from the office. And I hope that I hope that she never has to go back to the office, and that it could stay like this. Not the pandemic stay like this forever, but her working from home, that can be a forever thing. Because it's been great, man. I love it. She loves it. Carter loves it. We love it. So hopefully it can be like this forever, because this whole pandemic, again, it sucks. But it has opened a lot of eyes. It's opened a lot of companies' eyes. It's opened a lot of companies' eyes to realizing oh, hey, we can do this thing with people at home, because that's what a lot of companies fear, which you can understand. But at the same time, for me, I haven't had, besides what we do now, but I really haven't had the opportunity to work from home very often. But when I did have it, I was more productive than I was in the office. And maybe that's because in the office I was comfortable and whatnot, but at home you comfortable, and you're happier. Or for me, I was happier, because it's I'm at home and I'm working, and I'm getting paid to be home and work from home. Doing the same thing I was doing there, but I'm doing it from the crib. And I was so happy, and I was just oh, this is great. Cause it was just different. So I feel like my production was better at the house. I think looking back at it, I've only had 2 jobs where I had the opportunity to work from home. And with one of them, me and my wife worked together. Actually, it's funny because the first work at home opportunity that I had, that's how I ended up meeting my wife. Because my roommate, she was working the front desk at the company, and my roommate, he got a virus on my computer, because I use my computer to work from home. And he was like, hey, let me use your computer real quick. I want to go on worldstarhiphop.com. And I said, okay, cool, no problem. Let him use it. When he gave it back, it was never the same. Virus. So I had to take it to the job so they could replace it. And that's how I met her. So thanks to him, going on WorldStar, that's how I met my wife. So shout out to my guy. I was just talking to him last night. But yeah, I hope this work from home thing is permanent for her. because it's great. But yeah, again, super proud of her. Somebody else too who I'm super proud of, my mom. She just got recognized for being at her company for 40 years. I'm like, man, 40 years. I've only been at like one company for almost 4 years. And that was the one that I was at before I got laid off and started doing this full time. But to think of somebody who worked at a company for 10 times that amount, 40 years. 40 years. And I was like, wow, man. That's good. My mom, I'm proud of her too. She is a great example for me of consistency. She's very consistent. And she, like, man, to be somewhere that long, like, you obviously got to be doing something right. Because especially nowadays, you got to be doing something right, because companies, they will look for ways to cut costs, to cut back, and to cut people. And for me, I do not feel like, especially nowadays, ain't no such thing as job security. Ain't no such thing. Companies, they will look for ways, look for reasons to get rid of you. We see it in normal jobs. We see it in the NFL too. Yeah, because and it reminds me that teams, they will always be thinking of and looking of cheaper options. Always. They will scale that roster. They will look at that roster up and down and think of ways, how can we get cheaper here? Maybe even if the production is either matched, or even if it's exceeded, or even if it's a bit lower, how can we get similar production in this area, but get it for cheaper? How can we do that? So for her to have been there for 40 years, that takes a lot of consistency, and you obviously you got to be doing not just something right, but you got to be doing a lot of things the right way. You have to be, because if you weren't, especially given the pandemic, especially given cutbacks, especially given if you ever got to do a furlough, anything like that, especially given just all this stuff, all these different situations, but you still rocking out, yeah, you're doing things the right way. So shout out to my mom, who has been, obviously been a big help. She gave me my life, but yeah, she's been a huge help with everything, literally everything. So shout out to her. I appreciate her a lot. Especially appreciate her patience, because I always get reminded of her patience when I deal with Carter. Because I'm like, man, this dude be driving me crazy. I tell y'all, man, it's not a lot of things that get me upset. But Carter, like, I feel like Carter's like the only thing that gets me upset now. Like, I don't really get mad at anything. I don't get heated at anything. Like, nothing. But when it comes to Carter, that dude, he know had to set it off, man. But then I think of her, how she had to deal with me. And it's like, ooh, yikes. So Carter ain't nothing. But anyway, team, keep it clean, man. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Thank you for listening to another episode of the podcast. We got some different things coming on, some different things we're going to be doing on the YouTube channel. It's going to be, I'm excited for it, because this is something that it's not just an idea that I have floating around, but it's something that I know that I'm actually going to do. And I'm genuinely excited to see how it turns out, because it'll be something that we already do, but we're going to put a different spin on it. So that's going to make it that much more enjoyable and interactive. And I'm excited for it. So we're going to see how that thing turns out. Anyway, team, keep it clean. Love you. Thank you. Appreciate you. And I will see you in the next episode. We out.